Hey guys, it's it's been a while since the last video. I apologize about that. It's on me. I could say that I got busy with work and school, and to an extent that is true. I did get busy with work and school, but I had some time that I could have been making videos, and to be honest, I just didn't feel the spark. You know what I mean? I just didn't feel it. I don't know. I kind of had this routine of I would wake up and I'd go to work or I'd go to school, and then I'd come home and I kind of was too tired to do anything else. And so I just didn't make anything. I didn't make anything for what? It's been well over, has it been a year? Has it been that long? Has it been that long? Has it been over a year now? There's no way, right? Damn, no, it's been a year. It looks like it's been well over a year. So I apologize about that. I wanted to have more stuff out, and I just didn't. And I think part of that has to do with kind of my dying interest of the game, which really sucks to say. I turned 23 in October, late October, not too long ago, and it marks my 11th year anniversary of playing this game, which is just an insane amount of time to be doing any one thing. Although, to be honest with you, those last 2 or 3 years have been super on and off. I haven't made a part, or I haven't completed a part in something in at least 2 years, if not even longer than that. And man, I just the passion I had for the game at one point, it's just not there anymore, and that really, really sucks. I really want it to be there. I don't want to. I want to have something that I love doing, that I get out of bed and I have to go do it. And that was Geometry Dash for the longest time, and now it's like not anymore. And that's really weird. That's not. I don't like that. There's so many people who quit the game and they're like, oh, I fucking hate the game. I never want to play it again. I'm not one of those people. I don't love the game, and I hate that I don't love the game. And you could. There's a lot of things you could pin it on, right? I've said for so long that I don't like the general direction of the game. I don't like a lot of the new styles that are coming out. I think a lot of the new art levels, they're really cool, but they're not for me. They don't really do anything for me. I like when a GD level kind of looks like a GD level, and the art levels still look like GD levels. They don't look like, well, some of them honestly do look like you went into Photoshop and you just made a whole bunch of assets. But for the most part, they don't really look like that. They still kind of look like GD levels, but that's not really what I mean. And I think a lot of you kind of know what I mean when I say I want a level to look like Geometry Dash. I'm thinking of that 1.9 to even so far as 2019 and 2.1, that kind of design look. And unfortunately, it's just not around anymore. It's still kind of around, but it's just not as big and exciting as it used to be. And man, to me, that just kind of sucks. I love the game. I still love the game, but I just don't. I don't know, man. I still love it, but I just don't have the drive anymore, I guess maybe is the right term. Which again, it just sucks. The style that I do or did isn't really around anymore. And I've been reluctant to make this video for so long, because if I make this video, it's kind of like I'm quitting. I'm not quitting, just by the way, but it's kind of like that, right? To make this video saying I don't really love the game anymore, that's what it sounds like. In a way, it's kind of true, because I just don't think I'm going to be nearly as active. Do I think I'll never make something again or never play the game again? No, I don't think that's possible for something you've loved for so long, that to just never do it again. But I can't say that I'm going to be active at all, and I won't really be doing collabs unless you're my close buddy or something like that. It kind of sucks. I don't love GD anymore. I still enjoy talking about the game, right? And there's still maybe a couple more GD videos, but I think the future of this channel is going to look very different. I don't think the future of this channel is going to have GD, assuming there is a future to this channel. And I hope there is, because there's a whole bunch of stuff I would like to talk about, but just none of it's really GD related. I don't want to leave the game permanently. I don't want to do that, because I think I still have something to offer the game, whether that's in the form of these commentary videos or that's in the form of collabs or finishing my solo or solos, but I don't love it anymore. And I want to talk about maybe why that is a little bit, and what's changed not only in the game but also just in my life generally. For example, like I said earlier, the new art direction in a lot of these levels I just don't love. Again, that 1.9 to like mid 2.1 style, where you could really tell a level was made in GD. It still had its own like unique sort of style or character or whatever, but you could still tell that it was made in GD, and I thought that was really cool. That levels kind of had their own secondary identity of being a part of Geometry Dash on top of whatever their primary identity is. As the years went on, and after COVID, and especially after GD started weirdly blowing up on TikTok and like Instagram Reels and other short form content sites like that, it's been more about making more traditional looking art, which is really cool. And I think that was probably always the direction the game was going to go in. And I think it's actually very healthy for the game, because you can theoretically have a lot better and more expansive art direction. You can only do so much in a GD style. I don't think that style is really ever going to come back. I don't think that super intricate design style is ever really going to come back in like a strong way, because to be honest, it takes so fucking long to make now. Like, doing a solo that's entirely design style is, I think, is essentially impossible. It takes way too long. Like, it is not easy to do. And a lot of these more simplistic, idea-centered levels are a great way to continue to be able to make solos. I mean, that was a big problem in mid 2.1, was that everyone was like, well, dude, solos take way too long now. Like, it doesn't make that much sense to put so many hours into a level, and it could just not do well. So a lot of the best design creators and the best creators in general just did collabs. And to be fair, if you do the art stuff properly, it also takes a hell of a lot amount of time. I am buddies with Kullik. I've seen how like much effort goes into a lot of these parts, and that's just not like conceivable for an entire solo. You have to be crazy to try and do what he does for like a whole 1.5, 2 minute long level. I think the player base and the creator base has realized that, and they've moved more into a direction of like, okay, well, let's not do these hyper realistic or hyper intricate designs, and let's do something that's more, focused on just cool visuals in general. And I think that's like a really good direction for solos to take. But unfortunately, it just doesn't interest me much. And that sucks. Like, I see new levels that I know would have been the craziest thing in the world to me when I was first starting to play the game. And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Like, it's no new levels really excite me anymore. And even if a new level from, someone who I used to really look up to, even if a new level from Laser Blitz came out tomorrow, I think I would just say, that's cool, and then I would move on. And that's a really weird thing to admit to myself, because that's not how it used to be. Back in the day when I saw a Laser Blitz level come out, I'd be like, that's like the fucking coolest thing in the world. I need to know how to do that. Like, not that I wanted to know how to do that, I needed to know how to do that. And then I would spend all my time, I'd come home from school and just spend the rest of the day looking at what he did and trying to replicate it. Or on the weekends, I would literally spend 8 hours just making one part and be like super happy by the end of the day. And I just can't do that anymore. I mean, surely part of it is that I got older, and I have more responsibilities now than I used to when I was in middle or high school. But I got older, and the game I once loved is not the exact same game anymore, which it shouldn't be. That's a good thing, but it just sucks. I wanted to play this game forever, and then if you had asked me a few years ago, I would have told you I'd be playing this game forever. And in some capacity, I probably will be. But I think I want to do other things. I think I want to talk about other things. I think I want to make videos on other things. I love this game. I really do. But I don't need it anymore, if that makes sense. Who needs a video game? You know what I mean? But like, I think a lot of you can probably relate to what I'm talking about, especially if you've been in the community for a long time. If you've been playing for like even nearly as long as I have, I think a lot of people kind of understand and maybe have similar sentiments. I've talked to some other people about this, and a lot of them feel the same way. I've talked to some buddies about getting, certain levels off the ground. In order to make this video, I wanted to have my solo finished in time. But dude, every time I get into the editor, I place like 2 blocks, and then I just don't. And then I just quit. I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It like feels like a really difficult chore to get through, and I don't get the same satisfaction from it, which really sucks. I mean, when I make something, I'm like, yeah, I've done this before. This is not like new. Maybe it's slightly better than it was before, but it's not new. And I think part of that is compounded by my somewhat unwillingness to learn all of the 2.2 features. Not unwillingness, but the levels I want to make don't have the 2.2 features in them. And I think like there's a certain level of flashiness that I like, and I think a lot of 2.2 stuff, it's a little over the line for me. I like pretty flashy stuff compared to a lot of my friends, but like even some of the 2.2 stuff, I'm like, okay, man, like maybe we tone it down a little bit, like maybe a little bit of subtlety. That's not a shot to any of the creators. Make what you want, man. If you want to make something that's like flashy and out there, do that. Like, more power to you, man. But yeah, I just don't think it's for me. I just think the kind of levels I want to make are not as interesting anymore, both to me and to other people. At the same time, I don't want to let the style die. And that's sort of been my dilemma for the past like year or so, is that like, man, I don't want to quit the game, but like at the same time, this style, this Laser Blitz style, that's so Geometry Dash. Like you can't do it anywhere else. It's gonna die because Laser doesn't play anymore. Edix doesn't play anymore. I mean, Laser plays like rarely, man, like rarely. Edix doesn't play anymore. Manix like occasionally plays, but even if he builds something, it's not in that style, you know. How Pegasus is moved on to bigger and better things. Unfortunately, my camera just died. I guess I'll have to wrap up this video, and I know it's been so long since my last video, and I really do apologize for that. I have no real excuse other than I just didn't feel the fire, you know. And I think you need to in order to put out your best stuff. But look, this has been a depressing ass video. If you guys want more content on other games, or maybe even on Geometry Dash, but it might be on some weird topics, let me know in the comments. Just like, I want to know. Thank you guys so much for watching this ramble, disorganized, shitty ass video, and I hope to see you guys soon.